Hey, thank you for stopping by. Glad to see you. Hope all is good. It's a rainy Sunday, and I am just chilling around the house doing a little few things here and there. But again, thank you for stopping by. All are welcome. So now there's one thing I was thinking about, and I was looking at this documentary, and I guess it brought up something that happened when I lived in Georgia. So this rich guy said to me, I ran into him at it was a tire repair shop. They did tires, rims, hubcaps, all that kind of stuff. They had to deal with a car tire or a truck tire. They did it. So anyway, somehow we got on the topic of money, and he says, "Let me tell you, and you always remember this." He says, so I'm sharing this with you guys. When you get paid, you always pay yourself first. He says, then you pay what you can on your bills. You call your creditors and they will work with you. He said, but always pay yourself first. That is the most important thing. And that way you won't be broke. And so I guess I always had a few dollars put away, $10, $20. But after that, I always pay myself first. Believe me, it makes a difference. Because you don't want to just work to pay somebody else. You're working for you. So you are the priority first. I don't care if it's $5, $10, $20. Put it away, then pay what you can on your bills. Handle your business. Anyway, let's get to the story. So, I'm going to pick up where I think Marie was about to add her 2 cents. So, Marie says, if my ex-husband would get his act together and stop chasing women, I'd get back with him. I was thinking this day. Well, I think I would. At one point, I enjoyed dating, but this shit was getting tired. By the end of the day, I was back to my old self, thinking I might never remarry, and I pretty much did enjoy my life. Not having to cater to a husband, it's easier taking care of and catering to a child than it is a grown person. I had gone out with that guy for a few months, nothing on a regular. Just getting together every now and then, kept it casual. I was still taking dating slow. I was working on learning how to drive now so I could get my license in a car. My cousin D and I were the last to get driver's license of any of our cousins or friends our age. And I had put a few dollars away to buy me a little car and get around in. So I really figured it was time to drive. It would make life easier, that was for sure. So now Junie. So my knee had been giving me some trouble lately. When I was in high school playing basketball, I took a nasty fall during a game and it tore my knee to pieces. The doctors had said I'd walk with a severe limp or have to use a cane. I couldn't even picture me at that age of 17 being handicapped. Not as much as I love being athletic and physical. I had reconstructive surgery to rebuild my knee, and they put lots of pins and screws in my knee to put it back together, hoping it would mend. It did, but a few of the pins had to remain in my knee. But guess what? I never used a cane or walked with a limp. So lately it felt like sometimes my pants legs would get snagged on my knee. I was really feeling some discomfort in my knee, so I went to the doctor to have it checked out. The doctor saw there was a piece of metal that was working its way out of my knee through my flesh. I was looking at this guy touching this metal, sticking out of my knee. Then he got a big pair of tweezers and alcohol pads. I was thinking, is he going to pull this out? And if he does, is his knee going to come apart somewhere inside? I tried to just let him do his thing, but I had to stop him and ask, what's going to happen to my knee if you pull that pin out? The doc said it should be fine. It's been years since your surgery. It must have healed and is pushing the metal out. He pulled the pin out of my knee and told me if it continued to give me trouble to come back. Then he said, while you're here, I'm going to send you for an x-ray just to see what's going on in there. The x-ray showed a few more pins had come loose from the bones. He suggested we wait to see if they worked their way to the surface. And if so, just to let him know, and he'd take care of it. About 9 weeks later, another pin came poking out of my knee. There were 2 other pieces that was giving me trouble though. When I returned to the doctor, his office scheduled me for surgery to open the knee up and remove the other pins. Man, you talking about relief. I was glad my knee trouble had turned out to be minor. He wrote me up a note for me to be off from work for a week. I didn't think I needed a week off, but it sure was appreciated. So, Paula had been thinking about her family over the past 2 months. She wanted to show her adoptive parents our son, but they didn't want to see her, especially her mother, when she had called them. That hurt her feelings. They still didn't accept her marrying a black man. To be honest, they were mean to her whole life that she lived with them. The first family she lived with, they used to put her in a chicken shack sometimes because she was scared of the chickens, or just, I guess, to get their kicks. Sometimes they tell her in the morning as she was leaving for school, they were putting her bicycle in the trash. Then they'd put it to the sidewalk as she was leaving. Then she'd cry and be worried all day at school about her bike. I hope they wouldn't put her in the chicken yard when she got back there. Ain't that some mean, sick shit to do to anybody? And no less to a child. These people mentally and emotionally tortured her and her older sister. The people she wanted to see her baby were the second family to take her in. This week off from work would give me time to help her forget about them and cheer her up. The whole story went like this. Her real father had her mother killed. He thought she was having an affair on him. Then he put the kids, it was her, an older sister, and a younger brother, put them up for adoption. From here, the kids bounced from home to home, and the girls lost contact with their brother as little kids. Then, the sisters lost contact with each other when they got in their early teens. She was so young when she lost track of her brother, she didn't really know if he existed or if it was just a thought far in the back of her mind. All the mess she'd been through, she's a strong and sweet person. Most people would be so messed up in the head and heart after the abuse she'd been through. She's a good, honest, down-to-earth person after all she's been through. And you think sometimes I've had it rough? Man, we don't know what other people go through. So, I think about that too. So my brother told me when I was young, never judge anybody and say what you would do until you walk a mile in their shoes. Everybody has a story, and you don't know what their story is. Sometimes you be like, yeah, I'm feeling down on myself and blah, 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 blah. Then you hear other people's story, and you're like, wow, my situation is not that bad after all. But do remember this. Bad situations and the bad times, they too will pass. They're temporary. So, again, thank you for stopping in. I wish you well. Subscribe, share the video. I will hit you up if you leave a comment. And thank you again. Enjoy your day, and love and peace to you.